Hi, everybody. Welcome and thank you for being here today. If you're here for the first time, or if this is the group that's just arrived for the live, I'm so glad you're here and I hope you benefit from today's conversation all about sleep deprivation and an amazing patch that we are going to be using that helps support you and can be the answer to your prayers. Okay, so have you heard the news? Sleep issues are the #1 cause of chronic illnesses today, because over 60% of the population around the world is sleep deprived. And spoiler alert, it's directly correlated with obesity. And not at all ironic that close to 60% of the population is also overweight. Crazy stats. Check it out. Now, sleep experts say we need at least 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night. But millions of people are getting less than 6 hours of sleep today. That's 3 to 5 hours less than required. And you can see it's simply not healthy with all the illness that's going on in our world. So, how many hours do you sleep? Do you feel rested during the day? Or are you someone that needs caffeine and sugar to get you going in the morning and keep you going later in the day without crashing? Now, if this is you, then this talk could be the answer to your prayers. Pun intended. Now, your body and brain simply cannot rest, digest, and detox from all it's being bombarded with during the day without good sleep, especially from the hours from about 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. And some do well about going to bed at 9 p.m. and waking up at 5 a.m. But you definitely want to be in bed by 10 and asleep by 11, because that's when the work is happening for this detoxification and a myriad of other things that your body is doing while you're resting. Now, sleep is even more critical if you don't eat well or move your body enough during the day. And the use of all these toxic aids, stimulants like sodas and energy drinks with their deplorable ingredients are literally wrecking kids and adults' brains today. So please stop drinking these terrible products. They are so harmful. Now, billions of dollars in profits by the corrupt food and drug industries are being made off of your chronic illnesses. And that's what really breaks my heart the most. So why are we such a sleep-deprived world? Well, in a nutshell, it's because of high stress. You're simply too tired and addicted to chemical foods and beverages to be able to break this vicious cycle. But the real concern about sleep deprivation, in my opinion, is the high numbers of workers today doing our very important safety tasks, and even teachers and parents that are responsible for raising our healthy children. For instance, would you want your surgeon sleep deprived? How about your mom or your kid's teacher totally exhausted and neglecting them during the day? Of course, you wouldn't want that. But it's happening all over the world today, and these numbers I'm quoting are worldwide, by the way. Now, why I'm so glad you're here with me on this training, as this little safe, mighty wearable patch here called Silent Nights from a company called Lifewave is the answer to your quality of sleep. And why the founder, David Schmidt, chose to create this patch in his early light therapy career 19 years ago. So it's not a new technology here, as David knew the importance, even way back then, of sleep for our longevity and our vitality, and wanted a healthy sleep alternative. And I just realized as I was saying this, that's why David is so prolific in his business endeavors and his success with Lifewave. He's been sleeping well for close to 20 years now. Oh, how I wished I'd had this patch 20 years ago. So before I start on my PowerPoint, I'll introduce myself here quickly if you were new to me. I'm Suzanne Roth-Paul. I'm a health coach and advocate for your good health. Now, I'm also very passionate about keeping you safe from harmful products, if you didn't notice, and why I've created these videos highlighting these patches from Lifewave in my new wellness series that I started last week. Now, millions of us around the globe are wearing this mighty little Silent Nights patch, giving us, you got it, silence, literally from the monkey mind that wants to keep us awake all night, right? Well, I say no more monkey mind thanks to Silent Nights. Okay, now to my PowerPoint. Okay, where did she go? Where's my PowerPoint? There we are. Okay, so we're going to be talking about why sleep is so important. What is the Silent Nights patch? How does the patch work? And where do you want to wear it? And who benefits from the patch? And then we'll wrap up with a conclusion. So why is sleep so important? Well, 1 in 3 people report some kind of sleep issues today, making it the #1 cause of illnesses today, which I mentioned earlier. And the 3 top things that are causing so much issue are insomnia, quality of sleep, and snoring. Now, the average person sleeps for less than 6 hours, and so many more, like insomniacs, are sleeping anywhere from 2 to 5 hours. And so we know that people really aren't getting good sleep. So it's so important that you get to bed at a decent time. And I think that's the other issue is people are going to bed just way too late, and they're using their technology late at night, and that's keeping them awake even more. Now, common illnesses related to lack of sleep, as I'd mentioned, are obesity and depression, which are directly related to sleep deprivation. So it's really interesting that obesity and depression go hand in hand. Now, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, and even gastrointestinal diseases are on the rise. And I mentioned about I want to step back for a minute. I want to mention about the emotional health and with obesity. Now, what happens is when you're having lack of sleep, it puts you in a state of fight or flight. So you're in sympathetic mode versus parasympathetic mode when you're tired and exhausted. And that just means you can't make good decisions. And so that's what's happening with the stress levels is you get wigged out because you're not sleeping well, and why sleep is so important. So we've got absenteeism, we've got disciplinary problems, which is, happening with children in classrooms and young adults in colleges. And then we have separation, or excuse me, also we have people that are working that are missing a lot of work from insomnia. And then we have separation and divorce and even death that's causing so many issues and illnesses that I'm referring to that are related to sleep deprivation. And then we have the symptoms at work affecting function. Again, accidents on the rise like never before either. And you've got your heavy machinery workers and healthcare workers that are sleep deprived, and the quality of their sleep is impacting their jobs. And we also have doctors and hospitals overburdened. I wanted to mention that, and millions of dollars lost in all this absentee work. Okay, so our next slide is going to be on what is the silent night patch. Oh, no, it isn't. Why is sleep so well? Where are we? Okay, sorry. What is the silent night patch? Here we go. Okay, so the silent night patch was invented, as I said, by David Schmidt in 2005. So it's 19 years ago. He started this patch. This was his second patch of this family of Lifewave patches that we have today. And last week I talked about the energy patch. So this patch was really important for him on the early days of creating Lifewave. And the company was he was looking at things that people suffer from the most, which is energy, sleep, and pain. So again, this is the second patch in our series. Now it's easy. It's a non-healthy, non-surgical, safe, drug-free sleep aid alternative. So that's really important to me and most of us out there in the holistic world. And they're very easy to apply. They're non-transdermal, which means nothing goes into your system, and this patch can be worn at night. Now, it reflects a particular wavelength of light that stimulates specific points on the skin. I'll dive into that a little bit deeper on the next slide. Now, it triggers melatonin in the body. Now, that's critical for our circadian rhythm that helps us wake up in the morning and go to sleep at night. And that's what gets dysregulated when we stay up too late, or when we work all night. Your circadian rhythm really gets messed up, which in turn messes up your hormones. And it's so important for rest and sleep to have your hormones balanced, and as well as cell health. Now, this patch has been clinically proven to increase the length of sleep by 66%. I mean, that's huge for people that only get 2 to 5 hours. If you think about it, this patch can really get people back into their circadian rhythm and help them sleep better as they move forward. Okay, so the type of therapy that we're talking about here is called phototherapy, and it's based on a type of light therapy called photobiomodulation. Now, the Lifewave patches contain a very specific combination of organic materials and nanocrystals, and they're embedded in the little white part of the patch that you see here on the bottom right. When applied or near the body, they're activated by your own body heat. Now, they begin to emit very specific wavelengths of light, which stimulate targeted and beneficial biochemical responses in the body. And that's what these are doing. They're not doing anything other than like a messenger for your own internal system to start healing and doing the work it's needed. Now, photobiomodulation is the basis for our Lifewave phototherapy patches and our technology. All right. Now, where do you wear this patch? Well, there's 5 different or 6 different points here that we're going to be talking about today. And the first, they're based on acupuncture points, first of all, that are then correlated with meridians that we all have in our bodies. And each placement, we recommend that you try it at least 3 times, 3 nights, or up to a week before you think that they don't work. Now, if you're not sleeping well, I highly recommend that of course, you can take it off at night if you're not going to sleep, and you can try it on another placement. But it's really important to give these time and not just give up on it. Okay, so the first patch location is going to be on what we call the liver 3 point, and this is located on the top of the right foot on the web of the big toe. Now, I want to also mention that all of these placements are going to be on the right side of the body because of the right side of the body. We have the yin and yang balancing of our bodies, and the right side is actually the positive side of our body, the positive and negative, which we know is yin and yang balancing, and they of course support each other. But most of these patches, other than some of our other dual patches, and we have 2, are going to be on the right side of the body when you're following the instructions. Okay, so that's the first placement. The second placement is called the triple burner, which is related to cardiovascular meridian. Now, it's located on the right temple, and I use this patch location a lot and works for me. And again, this is a patch that is on the upper part of the body, and you can see that the foot location is on the lower part of the body. Some of us, again, we've got the polarity of the left and right of our bodies. You also have it from the upper body and the lower body. So again, you want to try these patches on. You might be somebody who needs them on the bottom of your body versus the top. And I'll tell a story about a couple of clients that, how they've had to use the patch. Okay, the third is called the kidney 3. It's located on the depression of the inside of the right ankle, just behind the ankle bone. And again, another lower section related to an organ that's really critical. Many of us suffer from a lot of kidney issues because we don't drink enough water. And again, we need to drink tons of water while we're using these patches. They are helping detoxify you, and you definitely want to make sure that your kidney's getting flushed regularly. And so that's the reason why I think this patch is here, because at nighttime, our organs are doing all of their detoxing, as I'd mentioned earlier in my intro. Okay, and on the fourth placement, we've got another triple burner, which has to do with our cardiovascular, and it's located under the right ear and just below the earlobe. And this happens to be a place that I get discomfort when I get headaches. And I've been wearing the Silent Nights there to also help relax that vein or that blood vessel that goes up there where I end up having headache pain. And I think it's helping a lot. And we're going to see if I place it there at night for sleeping, if it can mitigate headaches. Okay, and then we've got the governing vessel, which is located on your third eye. And this is for, again, balancing. It's right in the center of your brain, so to speak. And it's located in this third eye position for that reason. A lot of people love this position for many of the patches that we wear at night. And I especially like this location as well. And then last, we have stomach 36, which is located in the depression 4 finger widths below the right kneecap and 1 finger from the outside of the shin bone. Now, I love to wear this one because I am one that suffers from digestion issues. And so this happens to be a favorite place for me at night, but I definitely move them around. So again, I want to mention that we highly recommend, if you are not having discomfort with wearing the patches, the Silent Night patch, say for instance on your foot, go ahead and leave it there for a week and see if it works for you. Then how it does for you, and then move it the next week to the triple burner, which would be next to your eye, and then keep going down weekly and see which patch works best for you for the best sleep. And that's what we find to be the most helpful when you're using these patches, because I cannot tell you in the beginning how many people, and I didn't know this, if it didn't work for them or it made them agitated, upset, they just didn't sleep well. Some people got pain. It was interesting things that happen when we're sleeping at night for releasing toxins and trauma. They just didn't want to wear it again. And so I was it's very challenging to get them to try it after having a bad experience. We just needed to move it to a new placement. And sometimes some folks really need a detox from the harm and a lot of the toxins in their brain. And it can take up to 3 to 6 months for you to really get into the groove of having this patch work, because we say that if you've had insomnia, you've had some serious sleep issues for more than 5 months or 6 months, you want to factor, or 6 years, sorry, 5 to 6 years, you want to factor in 1 month for every year that you've had this condition. And it can take up to, if you've been suffering for 5 years, you'll need at least 5 months to see the benefits. But don't give up. This patch is amazing with all of its benefits, from melatonin support and obviously for, a good night's rest and detoxification. But what I love it for too is for snoring. And I didn't mention that earlier enough about how snoring is a really debilitating sleep deprivation issue, because if you snore, you're not getting oxygen to your brain. And so you're definitely causing issues for oxygenating your head, and you're damaging your brain. And the people around you are suffering as well. And so what I found when I put the Silent Night patch on my spouse, because he snores, and then I wear it, we both end up doing so much better. It literally can stop snoring for my husband. Okay, so the last thing we're going to talk about here is who benefits from these patches. Well, of course, everyone does, because 1 in 3 people suffer. So we can pretty much assume most people don't sleep well. But then again, like I said, you've got your spouses and your partners and your family that benefit as well, because you're getting a good night's rest. And then they're also having not to deal with a bear in the house, which is what always happened to me when I don't get enough sleep. But it's so important. I think everybody benefits, and especially those around you, if you are an insomniac and you're getting good sleep then. We want to talk about parents and young children, because parents are really, they're sleep deprived, especially for young children, and they have to wear patches, or they have to wear they have to use something that doesn't keep them in such a deep sleep that they can't get up and take care of their kids, especially if they're, crying and need them at night. And these patches are pretty safe for that. You do not have to worry about it. And it's not a medication that knocks you out, which I've been there before, and I know how harmful they are. So stressful jobs to stressful lives. Of course, we're all under stress right now. So we definitely need even more quality sleep. So it's very important for all of us that are experiencing high stress and anxiety. We know that shift workers, they need the solid sleep when off work the most, because they are the worst sleep deprived and the ones with the most, ironically, chronic health issues, because we're not meant to stay up all night and we're not meant to sleep all day. So this could really help somebody, or even if it's yourself that has shift working and can help with helping you even sleep during the day. Now, menopausal women are the ones that are suffering the most with hormonal changes in midlife. So we get from our 40-year-olds to 60-year-olds that are really struggling, and I hear it all the time with my community. And women are also twice as likely as men to suffer. And I do believe it's also because of stress on our bodies from the foods we're eating and the lifestyle choices we made, but also from worry. We are meant to worry. We're mothers. It's wired in our brains. And I don't want anybody to ever feel bad about that, because it is something we get criticized a lot about, worrying. But that's because we're mama bears, and we, in the good way, we are there to take care of our babies, and we are there to take care of our families. So this can be an amazing gift for you to try something like this, and not only, getting your hormones in balance, but also getting you a good night's rest. Now, the elderly who aren't active enough during the day, this is a real big issue for them, because then you don't sleep well enough, because exercise, movement, having a purpose, living your best life, and just being active all day, you usually fall into bed exhausted, and that's what you want. You want to sleep. You want to just be so thrilled to be in bed. Well, 50% suffer from insomnia over the age of 60. And sadly, I know so many friends and family members that are pulling those intense long days, and they're still not sleeping well. So we're working on a lot of people, getting educated on this patch, because it is safe and it's harmless, and you can obviously move it around to different locations for good success. And then lastly, we have travelers. Oh my goodness, so many of us love the Silent Night patch. I have a client that's in Singapore, and she's traveling to India. And I said, oh, I wish you would have contacted me, because I would have given you regimens and talked to you a little about using, the Silent Night patch and how to prevent jet lag. And she says, oh, no worries, Suzanne. I'm patched up. I've got it all under control. Thank you. I've heard enough of your talks now. So she knew, and I was so humbled to hear that. But we're all finding that when we travel with this, especially with jet lag, but just even sleeping in hotels that you're unfamiliar with and sleeping in houses and with people and such, it helps to at least peace of mind for me that I know I've got this alternative. Okay, so now, and there we are, slumber asleep there. The Silent Nights patch. What an amazing, amazing gift this has been to all of us who've been able to use it and benefit from it. So in conclusion, I hope you see the value of this patch and you are inspired to try this patch yourself. Now, if you know someone that could use this information and has sleep issues, I hope you'll share this video, because that's why I'm doing this work right now and doing these videos, is so that people can hear it and see it to believe it. And I really do hope that, if you are interested in learning more about this product, that you too will look into talking to the person who invited you here and learn more about Lifewave and even the business. It's an amazing company. It's an amazing opportunity for health and wealth. And finally, I do want to mention here, and I didn't put it out with me, a sleeve of the Silent Night, excuse me, of the X39 patch. Now, we highly recommend our signature patch, which is the X39, that people wear that in conjunction with all of our patches. Now, X39 we normally wear during the day, but it is the patch that activates your own copper peptide. And Google copper peptide, it's pretty amazing what your body needs for, having an amount of copper in your body. But it is the patch that helps activate your own ability to heal and to recover on its own without having to use stimulants or anything outside of anything that's natural. So be sure and look into the X39. And if you want to learn more about it, as I said, you can reach out to the person who invited you. But of course, I'm always available if I am your resource or your source here. And I love to talk about Lifewave, and I love to talk about health issues. So I'm so happy to share any additional information with you if you want. You can learn more about my team's website at yourteaminmotion.com. And there's lots of testimonials and lots of really good images there of before and afters of folks and recoveries from injuries and all kinds of things that they benefited from. And please, if you are going to share my video or you want to watch the series with me, go back, go to my YouTube channel, Suzanne Roth-Paul Lifewave, and watch last week's a video on the energy enhancer patch. That was our first of this 11-week series that I'm doing. And I'm going to be doing a patch a week, and we're going to be modeling it about similar to how I'm doing today. So we're going to dive deep, but not so deep that you can get enough information that you can, pique your interest and to try these different products. And so finally, I hope that you will not wait until another pandemic or personal crisis that knocks you off your game, especially when it's sleep deprivation, and get good and serious about good sleep, and try the Silent Nights patch and help you change this paradigm of a sleep deprived society and world by learning about Lifewave's Silent Night patch. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.